folks. Tony Howard with Astrology University here, and I'm here to tell you about our upcoming summit coming up this weekend, July 21st and 22nd, called Fresh Voices in Astrology. And I have one of our speakers here to tell you a little bit about what he's going to present, Wade Caves. Hello, Wade.
Hiya, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Dude, it's been a little bit hot here for the last couple. It's hot everywhere, I suppose. So I'm pretty much melting, but
Okay.
beyond that, I'm good.
All right. Well, Wade, can you tell folks a little bit about yourself, your background in astrology, and where you're from?
Yeah, so I'm from the States. Obviously, you can tell from my accent. Well, I'm not Canadian, I suppose I should say. I was born in California, but moved around everywhere in a military family. So have been able to see a lot of the world, thankfully, which is pretty great. I'm currently speaking to you right now from London, so over here right now. But in terms of my history with astrology, that's always an interesting one. It started as just a fascination when I was very young, and kind of got a little bit more into it when I was going through university, and started studying with the Mayo School of Astrology in 2012, and was a student of Wendy Stacy's. About a year after that, I was introduced to Deb Holding, and started studying through the School of Traditional Astrology. So I was studying Horary astrology, electional astrology, and a kind of one-on-one mentor relationship with Deb Holding. So about 2 years after that, I started teaching for the school, and that has more or less been my path, is focusing a lot on the traditional and classical techniques. So horary astrology is definitely, one of my big line items, but working a lot with electional astrology, natal astrology, mundane astrology. I don't, really speak a lot on natal astrology, so I think people don't realize that I do quite a bit of it. In fact, just before we are, speaking right now, and after, I'll be getting back to 2 natal consultations back to back. So I do that fairly frequently as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. And your lecture is titled Case Studies from a Horary Practitioner. So maybe you could start by just telling folks who don't know what Horary is, and then a little bit about what you're going to share in your presentation.
Sure. Yeah. Horary is by far the sexiest branch of astrology.
Way to sell it. Way to sell it.
Yeah. I read somewhere that sex sells, so I was like, use that word. The basic gist of horary astrology is that it's a divinational technique. It's similar to what you would do if you're working with I Ching or if you're working with tarot. Kind of a situation or a dilemma is surrounding you at a certain point in time. You've really struggled to figure out how to resolve it, and then the astrologer, so you approach an astrologer with, help me figure this out, and it could be something as mundane as, I've lost my passport and I'm supposed to be on an international flight tomorrow, or something like, I've been with my husband for 10 years and it's not working, and I need to know, can we figure this out? What am I missing? So, it can be a whole scale, in terms of level of intensity of what you can cover. But then you'll use, hundreds, thousands of year olds techniques to be able to interpret a chart for a given moment. So what I wanted to do, when we have the summit, is to be able to kind of have an open discussion about what it is to be a horary astrologer. There's a lot of questions. I think by far the most common question that I get, not from clients, but from, other astrologers or prospective horary astrologers, is, what do you do? Like what is your work life like? Can you talk to me about how consultation goes? What are some of the interesting questions that you've had? So I'm just going to pull together a small assortment of maybe 2-3 different horaries that I've had, and kind of walk through, some of the interesting elements to those charts. But then also just, kind of give a little bit of insight into my own, occasionally a hesitation, when you're working through these things, the kind of things that you think about as a practitioner, the things that you have to kind of keep in mind as you're working with clients. Because these are the things that we don't really talk about enough. You go to a conference and you sit and you watch an astrologer throw charts up there, that they've got absolutely perfect, and everything that they've done has been, golden. But of course they have, because that's what they've selected for the conference, So I kind of want to open up a little bit of a door to a more transparent conversation about, things do get hard, they get tough, and but they're exciting too, and really motivating and kind of propel you forward. So I kind of want to put out there a little bit, a window into my world as a horary astrologer.
Right. That sounds great. Awesome. Well, if you would like to learn more about Horary, definitely tune into the summit, folks. And here's the good news: you can actually watch for free during the weekend. So for 24 hours each day, you can watch each day's events for free. There will be, I think, 7 on Saturday and 6 on Sunday, if I have that right. And so for 24 hours each, so for a total of 48 hours, you can watch the summit at no charge, and I hope you can tune in. So you pop on over at freshvoicesinastrology.com to sign up. All you have to do is enter your email to sign up, and you'll get the links to watch the live event. So thanks for taking some time out to talk about the summit with me today, Wade, and I look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Same. Looking forward to it.
All right, great. Thanks, folks. See you soon.